Hello, welcome to Strong and Slow Flow. And today we are going to prepare the body to build up into splits. Now, if you just heard the word splits and you're like, oh, I can't do that, no worries. I myself almost always cannot do a full split. So don't feel like you need to. There'll be options for everybody on where to take your version of split. And half split, which we will do at least 2 times before we come into the split, will also be available as an option for you as well. So props today, definitely want a couple of blocks. You can bring in some blankets. So for example, if you have a nice blanket kind of folded like this, you can fold that up like this. That can be a nice cushion or a prop underneath the pelvis if that's something that you need. So just FYI, have what you need. And we will use a strap today. We're going to use that in the beginning. So that being said, let's go ahead and come onto our backs and bring your strap with you. And as we get down, I'm just going to take the strap right across the belly just so I know where it is when I'm ready for it. And if you need to move, clothing out of the way that may have gotten bunched up while you're down here, feel free to do that. I'm going to take my feet as wide as my mat here. And for a moment, I'm just going to kind of let everything kind of sink into my space and be supported with my mat, the floor, the earth, wherever you're practicing, letting the belly button even drop down in towards the spine. I'm just going to take a few breaths here, and I really want to try to expand that rib cage. And maybe just let it out through the mouth. Big inhale through the nose and expand. And let it all out. As you're here, continuing to breathe, maybe taking that head and neck from side to side. Okay, bringing that back in the center. Belly button is in, maybe letting the knees go side to side. How far deep you take this depends on your own body. So from here, your low back, your hips, your knees are in charge. So if one or some of them tell you they don't like how deep you're going, then don't go as deep. Good. And then we'll bring that back into the center. I'm going to take both hands right over heart center here. So we'll set an intention here. So remember, you can always come up with your own intentions. So whatever you would like to give or receive from this practice, whatever or whomever, whatever you'd like to dedicate it to can be your intention. Now, we're in a new moon season at the time of this recording, so I'm going to give you new moon affirmations. New moon affirmations. And another way to think about the new moon phase is a time to reflect maybe on the previous moon cycle and where you would like to go in this next moon cycle. So just like seasons and New Year's can be a time to reflect and make new goals, intentions, you can do that every month with the phases of the moon and the new moon as well. And then from here, once you're ready, once you have that set, we'll release. Let's take one knee at a time into the chest. Grab behind and bring them up to the chest or the shoulders, whatever feels good. Just find a nice lengthening from crown to tail here. And while here, maybe rolling the ankles in one direction and then in the other. And we'll just point and flex or paddle through the feet. Good. And then from here, we'll gently release the feet back to the floor. So your first affirmation I'm going to give you is I am aligned with the universe. I am aligned with the universe. If you would rather restate that to something that's a little bit more meaningful to you, maybe I am aligned with God's plans for me. I am aligned with God's plan for me. So whatever feels good and natural and comfortable for you to think about and say to yourself, and that's what I'm going to encourage you to do. So I've got my right foot in my strap. Your left knee can be bent if that's what your low back or the hamstring needs. You can also lengthen that leg here. And I'm going to have a nice wide, long grip on the strap. Belly button is in, and we're going to make some circles. We're going to get into this synovial fluid here just a little bit, lubricating this joint just a little bit better. Good, and then let's reverse. And then once you're ready, good, we'll come back up to center. Good. Now you can choke up a little bit on your grip, keeping a micro bend in the knee. So here's on the micro bend, here's a hyperextension. We don't want to do that. So we want that to be a little soft. Good. And we're going to take that forward. We're going to come back, give it a gentle tug. Forward and gentle tug, and forward and come back, maybe choking up. Good. Find your stretch. The stretch series we're doing is great to do every day. You can do it right in the bed before you get out or before you go to sleep. And this helps with tight hips, tight low back, and just overall flexibility of the leg. So we'll back off from this a little bit. Both pieces of strap are going to come into the right hand. Both hips are going to stay grounded. We're going to let that right leg go out to the right. Now, once you get there, if you need to change where your grip is, that's fine. Kind of wiggle around, find your best spot. Big breath. And then we're going to bring that back through center, changing the grip. Good. Different things for different people. You can keep a long leg. You can also bend the knee here. So find what you need. We're going to arc over about 45-ish degrees to start. So kind of just wiggle around, find your best spot. I'm too close to my wall, so I'm going to move out a little bit. Now you could, if this feels okay for you, taking that leg all the way over into a full spinal twist. But you want to keep the leg in line with the hip. We don't want that foot to flop in the floor. So you can prop that up with a block or a folded blanket if you need help. Breathing. And then once you're ready, we're going to come back up. Good. Putting a bend in that knee. Come back a little bit more. Good. We'll do a midair switcheroo here. Left foot in, lower grip, a bent right knee or a long right leg. And we're going to do those little hip circles again. So belly button stays in. We're controlling this with the strap. And then we'll reverse. This is my tighter side today for sure. You might noticing differences in one side and the other as well. And then we'll come back up. Good. Now we'll choke up a little bit higher. Good. So belly button is in. Good. We're going to let that leg come forward. Come back, gentle tug. Forward. Gentle tug. Forward. Come back and hold. So find the grip that you need for the stretch on this side. Well, I am beginning a new and exciting path. I am beginning a new and exciting path. And then from here, good. We'll back off of that a little bit. Good. Both pieces of strap are going to go into the left hand. Belly button is in. Both hips stay grounded, taking that leg out to the left. Wiggle around, find it where you need it. Change the grip if you need to. Breathe breathe as you sink into the stretch. And we'll come back up. Good. Changing hands. Good. So same thing with a long leg or a bend in the knee. Choose what you need. We're going to arc over 45 degrees. Do take the pause first and wiggle around. Find where you are. This is how you tell if it's a good or a bad idea to keep going. So if it's a good idea for your body on this side in this moment, you can take that leg over. Again, I'm keeping the leg in line with the hip. Breathing. Breathing is so important when we're stretching. And once you're ready, we'll take that back up. Good. And we're going to remove that foot from the strap. Good. So I'm going to put that strap out of the way. I'm going to bring my knees back into the chest here for a moment and rock side to side. We're going to go into a traditional supine twist before we come up. So knees are going to come over the hips. Shins are parallel to the floor. Arms are out to the side. Belly button is in. Let's take those knees over to the left. Good. Breathing and expanding through that rib cage. And noticing how you feel. And when you're ready, now 2 ways to transition. If you're newer or have a back issue, something like that going on, take one leg at a time, coming back to center. If you are stronger and you don't have any issues, you can use your abs to bring everything back to center together. And then once you're ready, resetting, we'll take those knees over to the right, maybe looking to the left, breathing and expanding. Good. And then from here, one leg at a time, or using your abs to bring you back in the center. Good. And you can bring the knees in. Now, 2 ways to transition here. You can roll over to your side and come to a seat. If you're okay to be in spinal flexion, then you can roll like a ball a few times. Coming up, I'm going to fight for it, and come all the way up. Good. Now we're going to come to tabletop, coming into all fours. So if you need a knee cushion or anything like that, and I think I'm going to bring mine in today, then always take care of yourself. Give your body, give your joints what it needs. Spreading the fingers nice and wide. Reaching through the knuckles of the pinky, pointer, and thumb. I'm pressing away from the shoulder, so I'm not here. I'm pressing away. My belly button is in. Knees are under the hips. They can be slightly wider if you've got a cranky low back. And from here, inhale. Hanging chest forward, tilting the pelvis back. Nice cow pose. Exhale and round. Good. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Good. Round, round, round. Take it into a child's pose. Knees are together as wide as the mat or somewhere in between. Arms can come long in front of you. They can also come back by the ankles if you've got a shoulder that doesn't like that. Forehead can come to the floor or a block. A folded blanket also works too. And make it an active child's pose. So wherever you are here, can you zip up that body? So belly button is into the spine. Can you expand that rib cage on your inhale? If your arms are forward, could you walk those fingertips forward just a teeny tiny bit more? And remembering you can come to this child's pose anytime you want or need to, for as long as you want or need to throughout this practice. And from here, I'm going to take my hands under my shoulders. I'm going to come back up to all fours. So preparing for a downward facing dog. If you're a taller person, take a half a hand's width or full hand's width forward. If you're a shorter person like yours truly, you can stay right where you are. I'm going to tuck my toes, sink the hips back a little bit. I'm still rooting through the knuckles of the pinky, the pointer, and the thumb, and I'm pressing in and forward into my mat. So nice and strong in the upper body. From there, I'm going to lift my knees and my hips. And coming up. Now, maybe just walking the dog just a little bit. Good. And then we'll relax those heels back down. Now, come into good down dog form. You're pressing in and forward into mat. Shoulders are away from the ears. Elbows are turning towards the ceiling. So we're turning the eyes of the elbow towards the ceiling. Good. Head and neck are free. Ears are by the biceps. Pressing evenly into big toe and pinky toe mounds. Knees can be bent or long, just depending. Don't worry about the heels coming down. And then from here, once you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk or step the feet forward to meet your hands. Good. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Hands can come to blocks at any height. The floor, the shins, or the thighs. We want a nice long back when we come up here. And then exhale and we'll bow. I like to bend my knees when I do mine, but you don't have to. If you have a back issue, though, I'm going to strongly recommend that you do. Good. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway once more. Exhale and we'll bow. Inhale, press through the feet and the legs. Strong legs, strong back. Taking it up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Yeah. Now from here, making any little adjustment, we're going to take this into 2 sun salute A's. 2 sun salute A's. You can always skip the vinyasa portion and take it right into down dog or child's pose if you wish. Big inhale in, we reach. Exhale in, we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale in, we'll bow. Good. Planting the hands. Step or hop back to plank. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Finding the breath. Always coming back to the breath. From your down dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and we'll bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes. Press through the legs. Exhale, hands to heart center. And next one, inhale and we lift. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, plant the hands. Step or hop back to plank. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Good. Just finding that downward facing dog. From the downward facing dog, when you're ready, we're going to take this right into a lunge. So I'm going to start by taking my left leg up, bending that knee, coming forward, stepping, or picking up and putting this foot forward. This is very important. So this heel needs to be grounded. So if you didn't take it far enough forward and it's doing this number, that's dangerous on the knee. Pick it up and put it more forward. Your right knee is going to come down to the floor. Good. And I'm going to bring my blocks in here. Some of you may not need them, but I'm going to use mine. Good. Any height that feels good to you. Lengthening the torso. Rolling shoulders back. Nice long back. So even from here, my heel is grounded. My knee is over or behind the ankle. This knee, not this knee. Good. This knee, you want to eventually try to get yourself to a point where the hip is forward of the knee here, your back leg. Good. Now, from here, when you're ready, we're going to take this into a half split. So I'm just going to shift back, I'm going to keep this hip over this knee today. You can bring your blocks in here. It's okay to slide this leg a little bit more forward, just as long as you're not locking out this knee. Good, and with or without your block. Good, find the length. We're going to keep this one pretty simple on this first time. Good, how about my life is overflowing with limitless potential? My life is overflowing with limitless potential. Repeat that to yourself. You all have potential. Good, and then once you're ready, good. You can bring that heel in just a little bit. Good, we'll come back forward. Good, we're gonna plant the blocks forward, plant the hands, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, front foot can step back. You choose, take or skip a flow. And always let your down dog be an opportunity to reset your form and as a little bit of a rest position. So I'm still pressing in and forward into my hands. Elbows are turning forward, shoulders away from the ear. And breathing. Now, once you're ready, we'll repeat that series on the right side. My right leg's gonna lift 3-point. I'm gonna bend that knee. As I shift forward, I'm gonna step or pick up and put the right foot forward between the hands. Heel is grounded. I'm gonna ground down that back knee now. And this is the one that doesn't want to be on the floor, so I'm going to cushion it. Good. And then maybe with or without your block, you can bring them in. Good. Find your length. Maybe the right hip needs to come back just a little bit. Breathe. So this is all preparations for split. So if we don't have open, legs in the front here and open in the back, it makes the split very, very difficult. So in the back of the leg that goes to the back, it's the hip flexor that works, that needs to be flexible. And the leg in the front in a split, it's the hamstring that needs to be flexible. So that's why we're working both. And then once you're ready, good. We're going to take this back into that half split. So hip is going to shift back over the knee. Good. You can take this leg a little bit more forward if you need to. Keep some softness here. Good. Blocks can be where you need to be. I'm going to keep that nice long torso. And this is the half split. So those of you that thought to yourself, well, I can't do a full split. This half split that we're going to do again in a moment is going to be your easiest option when we come into the split part of the class. So see, you can still do a split. And then from here, I'm just going to bring that foot in just a little bit more. We're going to come forward, taking the blocks forward, planting the hands, tucking the back toe, lifting the back knee. Front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip a flow. Or maybe a down dog or a child's pose. Remember, flowing is always optional. And coming back to that good, strong, downward facing dog form. And once you're ready, let's take an inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale and lift and lengthen. Exhale and bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs. All the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. So maybe the next one is I am divinely supported. I am divinely supported. And then from here, we'll go into our next flow. Big inhale and we'll reach. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. From here, I'm going to plant my hands. I'm going to come back to taking my right leg back. We're going to prepare for dragons here. So because I know where we're going after dragons, it's going to be a little bit of a quad stretch. I'm just going to go ahead and have that blanket handy. for my right knee to come down on. I'm going to bring my blocks in here. Good. So we're back at this lunge that we did a moment ago. Now from here, hands on floor or block. Blocks can be any height here. Are going to come on the inside of that left foot. Okay, and this might be your dragon today. Okay. Others might take this leg, your left leg, out a little bit wider to the left. Okay. So when you take it wider, you can take hip, knee, and toes more straight forward, or you can turn them out to the side into a lateral external rotation. So if you're doing that, hip, knee, and toe are all going in the same direction. This might be enough for some of you. You can also take the forearms down to the block. They can also come to the floor. Okay. Wherever you're going, shoulders are away from the ears. So this is not a good place to be. Press out of there. Belly button is in. This is core work here. Breathe and expand. Breathe. Now, if you need to come out of here before I cue it, let yourself do so. Good. Now, from here, if you went to the forearms, whether on your block or on the floor, we're going to come back up onto the hands. Okay. If you took your leg out to the left a little bit more, bring that leg back in line with your hip. So your left hip, knee, and toe are now back in that parallel line. Okay. So we're going to take those back into that half split again. Okay. Next. Now again, you have options this time. You can stay right here and work on this, or if your front hamstring will let you, because front hamstring's in charge here, with your blocks or your hands, you can go a little bit deeper here, walking that a little bit more forward. Okay, if hamstring says no, don't force it. Stay with the breath. Expand that rib cage. Good. Now I took my hands and blocks forward. I'm going to bring them back. Okay. Now for this next one here, this is a quad stretch on this back leg. Different things for different people. Some of you are just going to come back into your nice little lunge. Okay. Some of you are going to bend. Now, the trick to bend and keep this out of the kneecap is you have to be not on the kneecap. Okay. So you need to be forward or kind of above the kneecap here. If you're on the kneecap, your knee's going to scream at you. And some of you are just going to bend, and that's going to be all you do. Others maybe come back and grab a foot or your pants or what have you. Now I'm grabbing my right foot with my right hand. You can also do this the opposite way. You can also take your left hand back there for a deeper twist. Whatever feels good to you is the one that I will recommend. One is not better than the other. Good. Now from here, if you've got the foot or bent, even if you're not bound, you want to gently release, never slingshot. Good. You can take your blocks more forward, plant the hands, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, front foot steps back. You choose take or skip a flow. Now, knowing what I did, I'm just moving that blanket, that knee cushion to the other side. So if you need that on the other side, go ahead and move your cushion over. Just watch your feet here for a moment. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your heels. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, bow. So this time we're going to step the left leg back there. The left leg is going to come back there, and that knee is going to lower down. So this time we're going to get dragon on the other side. So once you found your lunge, hands on blocks or to the floor, it doesn't matter what height, that's customizable. We're going to come on the inside of that right foot. Okay, right heel is grounded. This might be enough. You might choose to take this leg out wider. You might choose to turn it out. So see how hip, knee, and toe turned out. You can stay there. You can come onto forearms on blocks or the floor. Find what you need. Shoulders away from the ears. Belly button is in. So we're breathing, breathing, breathing here. And so while we're here on this side, how about I invite new ways of thinking into my life? I invite new ways of thinking into my life. Stay with the breath. Yeah. Now, if you went down onto the forearms, you're going to come back up onto the hands. Okay. If you took your leg out wider, we're going to bring that leg back in line with its hips. So now your hips, knees, and toes are tracking forward. Good. We're going to go into that second half split pose. So hip is going to come over the back knee. I'm going to slide this right leg forward. I'm going to find my length. Now again, if you want to take this one deeper this time, you're always welcome to stay here. Deeper is not necessarily better, nor is it required. You can take hands on blocks or hands on the floor and walk them more forward, finding a little bit more length, a little bit more stretch, but no pain. So breathing. And even from here, is there somewhere in the body that you could soften just a little bit more? Could you soften just a little bit more? And then those of you that took the hands or blocks a little bit more forward, we'll bring those back in. Now, I'm going to bring this front foot back in here as well. So you want to choose with what's good for you here. Are you going to come back the nice lunge? Remember, front heel stays grounded. Are you going to bend that back knee? Are you going to attempt to bind with it? Remember, the key is not to be on the kneecap with that back knee. Once you're ready, good. Carefully release. Good. Block. We're going to come forward. Hands are going to come down. Tuck the back toe. Lift the back knee. Front foot steps back. Take or skip a flow. Noticing how you feel from one side to the other. There still might be a little bit of a difference, but hopefully you feel more open on both sides than where you were when we first started. Good. So again, take a moment, come back to that good down dog form, shoulders away from the ears, elbows turning forward, head and neck are free. From that downward facing dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet the hands. Good. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway, nice long back. Exhale and we'll fold. From here, pressing through the feet, getting into the legs. They take the load as we rise, long back. Exhale, hands to heart center. Just taking a moment. How about I open myself to my highest good? I open myself to my highest good. All right. So we're going to open the hips in just a little bit of a different way now. So we're going to do a step back into warrior two. A step back into warrior two. So my left leg is going to be my front leg. This will also include a triangle. And depending on time, we might get a pyramid variation in. So go ahead and have your blocks at the ready here, just in case you need them. And then I'm going to step my right leg back. Good. Once I'm here, this right hip, knee, and toe are going to turn out about 45-ish degrees. And once I'm there, I'm going to press to the back edge of that back foot. My front hip is going to come back. Hip, knee, and toe track forward. Knee track towards the pinky toe side of that front foot. I'm going to leave my hips as they are. I'm just going to turn the torso to the side. Warrior two is a twist and reach. Good. So breathing. Now, one way I like to think about Warrior Two sometimes, especially in a transition, whether it's moon phase transition, seasonal transition, yearly transition, what have you, is when I'm looking out over the front fingertips, I'm looking into my future. My head and mind are in my present, in the center, and then my back hand is reaching into the past. Good. Now from here, I'm going to lengthen that front leg. We're going to take this into the triangle now. So your front hip's going to come back a little bit more. Back hip's going to come a little bit more forward. If you need to change your stance here, go ahead and do that. So left leg is forward, left arm's going to come forward. Root into the feet like you're trying to rip apart your mat. Lengthen, 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 lengthen. When you can come no more, come to a thigh, come to a shin, block inside or outside of the foot. Outside is easier than inside. You can also use a hand if you don't need the block, and we'll just open up. We're stacking the shoulders, looking up at that hand, and breathing. Once you're ready, we're going to look down at that front foot. We're going to put a bend in that front knee. I think we will do pyramid variation today. So I'm going to grab my other block. Then I'm going to swivel up the back foot. So now my feet are on parallel railroad tracks. Back heel, excuse me for a moment, is not touching the floor. And then from here, I'm going to lengthen that front leg just a little bit. I'm going to lengthen my torso. Blocks can be any height that you need them. And here's our pyramid variation. You're just getting a little bit more opening or work on that front hamstring. Front hip is back hip comes forward. And now once you're ready, good. I'm going to put a bend in that front knee. I'm going to take my blocks a little bit more forward, and then I'm going to step the back foot up to meet my front foot. And then I'm just going to bend. Just find an angle, shake the head yes. Maybe yes for more abundance. Shake the head no. Say no to what's not serving me, but keeps knocking on my door. Good. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet, engaging the glutes, rising all the way up. Feels good to stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. We're going to take that all to the other side. I'm just going to move over here. After we do this flow, we're going to come down to the floor and go right into those splits that we've been working on. So just know it's coming. So now from here, my right leg is going to be the front leg. I'm going to step back with the left. So just kind of come back into a high lunge to start. Once here, we're going to warrior prep the back. So hip, knee, and toe, we're going to turn out a little bit, 45-ish degrees. Front hip's going to come back. So back hip will come forward. It won't be extreme. Your hips will not be squared. Hip, knee, and toe, front leg track. Good. Now leaving the hips where they are, zipping up that front body. Just take the chest to the side and reach. Good. And reach. Finding your warrior two. Again, reaching into the future, being into the present, reaching back to the past. Also a reminder how everything is connected, the past, the present, the future. You can leave things behind in the past, learn from it, change things in the future, but your past also helps shape who you are. And then from here, we'll lengthen that front leg. Good. Preparing for triangle. Front hip's going to come back hip's going to come forward. My right leg is forward. I'm going to take my right arm forward. Good. So I'm going to lengthen, 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 lengthen. When I can come no more, take a thigh, take a shin. You can take a block, inside or outside of the foot. I won't need it today. Good. And then you can take it and open. Looking up at that hand. Breathing. How about I embrace this new beginning? I embrace this new beginning. I'm going to look down at that front foot. We'll put a bend in that front knee. Good. Hands are going to come to blocks or the floor. Good. I'm going to swivel up that back foot. So I'm in a nice parallel railroad track position. Good. Finding length. Now I'm going to lengthen that front leg. And you just lengthen it to where you can go. It might be completely long. It still might be bent, but it feels long to you. That's okay. Breathe. Now, once you're ready, good, I'm going to put a bend back in that front foot. Good, I'll take my blocks and hands more forward, and then I'm going to step that back foot forward to meet the front. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs as we come up, reaching, exhale, hands, heart center. Finding mountains, your intentions, and the breath. All right. We're going to take this into a flow. We're going to take this into the split. So depending on how you are practicing or what surface you're practicing on, if you've got a blanket or maybe a shirt that you've peeled off during practice, this becomes really nice to just kind of slide forward and back if you're going to use it for that purpose. You don't have to use it for that purpose. What I am going to do here is I'm just going to fold my mat back just a little bit so I have room to do that with my blanket. Whoops. As long as I don't trip over my mat, right? All right. So from here, you want to have your blocks at the ready as well. Big inhale and reach. Exhale and we'll fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, roll back. This may be too far away. I'm going to pull it in. Good. And from here, I'm going to step back. I'm going to plant my hands. Good. You can take or skip a flow here. Yeah, so I will probably do that. Good. Good. Now, once you have made it to your downward facing dog, I'm going to drop down to my knees. So now that I've folded my mat in half, I've already got a little bit of extra knee padding back here. Good. I'm going to bring my blocks in. And then I'm going to start with my left foot forward. So I'm going to place that on my blanket. Good. And then from here, I'm just going to let that slide forward. And my blocks are going to be my brake as I come in. Now, you see, my midsection is not completely on the floor. So I'm going to take my blocks down a little bit here from where I was. And if you're strong enough in the upper body, you can totally hold yourself up here. What you don't want is to force yourself to the floor when you're not ready. That is a horrible injury waiting to happen. Another thing you can do is you can take a block under here or 2 blocks under here. Good. Good. So here I am. I'm in a supported split. This still counts as a split. You can also come back to that half split if none of this is where you are right now. So remember that half split is one that we've done twice already. Just this one. Okay. So you find yours, wherever it is that you need to be for your body on this side in this moment. And breathe. Also want to emphasize, if you are doing these in an actual in-person class and someone offers to push you to the floor because they don't think you're that far from it, you need to be your advocate, even if that means you need to yell no and it bruises their ego. That is a bad, bad, bad injury. I got injured that way. I'm still somewhat recovering from SI joint instability from that injury. So please do not, if you see it happening somewhere else, don't want to happen to you, roll up your mat and leave. It is okay. So from here, coming out of there in the way that's best for your body based on where you went with that, and then find a little child's pose. I tell that story every time we do splits because it's an important story to tell. It's a safety tip. There's many great yoga teachers out there. There's also some that teach from ego. And yeah, so be mindful. We're going to come back up. Okay. So now we're going to take that to the other side. So again, set yourself up for success. Go where you need to go. Does that mean you need just a half split on this side right now, just right here? Okay. Does that mean you're going to take it out a little bit more? Okay. Does that mean you're going to put a prop underneath here for support? I'll probably do that on the side here. Good. Find what you need. Give your body what it needs. You know, and full split attempts are not for everybody. That's why I always offer the half split, because almost everybody can do that one. Okay. And then once you're ready, in the way that's best for your body based on where you went with this, because everybody needs to come out a different way based on your own body's needs and where you went. We'll carefully come out of there. Good. And we'll find our last child's pose. And let it be a nice, juicy child's pose. Get what you need to get from this child's pose. And once you're ready, knowing you can stay here as long as you want or need, good. We're going to come back up. Good. I am going to unroll my mat, or unfold it is a better way to say it, assuming I don't spill my water in the process. Good. And then once you're ready, we're going to come onto our back. Come onto your back. And once you come onto your back, just kind of, again, get situated. You know, if you need to move things around, move clothes around, whatever feels good. So I'm going to cue us to a robot arm bridge today. This should feel good for the front of the body as well. So I'm going to roll my shoulders back so they're nice and planted into the floor. I'm going to bend my arms at the elbows. So my palms are facing each other. And my fingertips are facing the ceiling. And making sure the feet are not too far away or too close. Once you're ready, we're going to press into the shoulders, the arms, the elbows, and the feet as we lift up. And belly button stays in here. And once you're ready, we're going to lower down bone by bone, nice and slow. So starting from the mid back, the upper back, that is, we'll just start to lower down bone by bone. We'll take that through the rib cage, the thoracic. We'll take that through the lumbar, the low back. We'll come down to the sacrum, on the tailbone, and you're safe, neutral. Good. Let's take this into a figure 4. Crossing the right ankle over the left knee. Find yours. You can be here. You can bring it into the chest. You can bind through here. Find what feels good to your body. Upper body is grounded. A nice relaxation of the neck here. And then we'll release. And while we're here, we'll continue to cross that right leg over that left. I'm going to pick up my hips and take them a little bit more over to my right. And then I'm going to let those legs fall over to the left. Now, if this doesn't do well, the leg crossing and the twist, undo the legs, just come to a basic supine twist like we did in the beginning where the legs are stacked. When you're ready, nice and slow and controlled, we'll bring the legs back in the center and we will undo. Pressing into the feet, taking the hips back to center. We'll cross the left ankle over the right knee. Find your figure 4 on this side. Wherever it is that you need to take it. Breathing. And then once you're ready, good, we'll gently release. Good. We'll keep crossing this left leg over the right, press into the feet, good, shift the hips to the left. We're gonna drop those knees and legs to the right. Breathing and expanding again, undo the legs if that's too much. And once you're ready, we're going to take those legs back to center. We'll undo, taking the hips back to center, knees into the chest. We'll come into a short Shavasana from here. So I'm going to take my folded blanket. I'm going to bring that in for a little bit of a neck pillow today. Good. Legs can be in constructive rest, the bent knees. You can let everything come long and flop open. Find what feels good to you, being on your side, being on your belly. If those are better options, take them. And then I will leave you here for a few moments to ponder the last affirmation I'll give you of this class. As I release what no longer serves me to make room for new beginnings. I release what no longer serves me to make room for new beginnings. Staying here as long as you need. Otherwise, taking some deep breaths here. Choose stillness or invite movement of the fingers and toes. Maybe the head and neck from side to side. Choosing stillness or bringing the knees into the chest. Choosing to keep the upper body grounded or maybe lifting it up into a full body hug. And choosing stillness, removing any props out of the way if you used any during your Shavasana time today. Taking arms long behind you, legs long in front of you, and reach and lengthen from the edge of the fingertips, edge of the toes, body stretch, pointing and flexing through the feet and hands, twirling wrists and ankles in one direction and then in the other. And once you're ready, bending in both knees, and you choose rolling to your right or left side, the side that works best for your body in this moment, taking all the time that you need. And when you're ready, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seat where we normally start our yoga practice. Finding that nice tall sit, palms turning up, lifting up, touching palms together. As you bring those hands down, touch the thumbs to the forehead for good and true thought, to the lips for good and kind words, and to the heart for open and loving heart. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe. May you stay well. May you have a wonderful day, evening, week, month, new season ahead. Namaste.